What's going on, guys? Dom Iacovone, and I am the co-founder and CEO of Raw Nutrition. And today, this is Raw Truth. I'm like petrified that you're the one picking the questions.
All right. First question. How was it in the beginning of building the company?
It was stressful. I mean, I think like anything, when you start something new. Well, which company though? Because Raw was like my third company. So I knew a lot going into it. So I would say if you're comparing it to like my first company, it was much easier, but it was still a new stressful endeavor, right? Anything that you are passionate about and anything that you enjoy doing and you want to be great at is going to cause you to have stress. But I enjoyed every second of it. The good shit, the bad shit, all of it. It was all worth it. So I mean, you're asking me now, right? Like if I wasn't in the position I'm in now, it might be a different story, but looking back at it now, it was fine. It was great.
This is not really a question, but I just want to ask because it was on my head. So like you started Revive.
Yeah.
What made you want to start Raw?
Oh, that's an easy one. So when I started Revive, the supplement company, not the medical offices, we created like clinical vitamins, right? And when we did that, we had no intention of starting a supplement company. We didn't want to make protein powder. We didn't want to make pre-workout. So we stayed in our lane. We were doing the vitamins. And then a lot of people kept asking us to make pre-workout, make protein, make this, make that, make an EAA. And at the time, Revive was one of the only companies that was doing third-party testing, and they wanted that in a supplement company, like a sports supplement company. So in our opinion, or in my opinion, I didn't think that adding those SKUs to Revive was good for the Revive brand because Revive is very clinical, and I wanted to keep it marketed differently than a supplement company. So we decided to come up with a new company called Raw, which we would make all of our sports supplements under and keep Revive clinical.
Would you ever compete again?
No.
Why not?
I would compete in different things. I think like my health right now is like the most important thing to me. I just made a post about this earlier. So I'm more focused on like longevity and just being like overall healthy and functioning as like a human and being like optimally, I guess you could say like performance is more important to me than like the way I look. So, I'm taking a different route. But I will always do something that is hard and that keeps me, mentally and physically strained for sure.
Fuck, some of these are savage.
They're bad?
No, just when we get more economic shipping charges.
Oh yeah, when the fucking economy gets better, I don't know what to tell you.
When are we gonna have a tour in the Maldives and distribution?
I mean, I'd definitely be down to go to the Maldives for a vacation, so.
Next one. What do you guys expect from an athlete in order to be part of the team/family?
I think, if I was saying that like following and engagement didn't matter, I would be lying. So definitely you have to, stand out in the industry or whatever industry that you're, a part of. And then I think if you take it a step further, we're really big on, being your true self, which means like don't try to be something you're not on social media. It's really easy to kind of like see through that, and you can kind of see through it really easily. So just being true to yourself, being honest, and just being whoever you are. I think that's what's the most important.
Are you satisfied with everything you've accomplished? If not, do you think you ever will be?
It's a great question. I'm definitely proud of what I've done. I don't think the word satisfied is the right word. I think that I know I can do more. I think there will be a point in time where I feel accomplished and satisfied. I think that has to do a lot more to do with like goals that I have for myself, like having a kid and, completing my family. And I think my goals are just gonna change, right? So I would never say that I'm satisfied because like after I have a kid, my goal is gonna be to make sure that kid becomes the best version of himself. So I'm always gonna work towards something, but I'm definitely proud of what I've done. And I think that I'm not like disappointed in where I am in life at my age.
What's one area of business that you, well, he says hate, but let's just,
That I don't like?
What's one area of business that you hate dealing with?
I would say, in America especially, it's like a sue happy country. So I don't love dealing in litigation. And I do deal a lot of that. I deal with a lot of that on a day-to-day basis between all the companies. But I also think that it's molded me and taught me so much by like understanding law and understanding how things work, and it's made me like a very different person over time. It's changed the way I handle situations. It's changed the way I react to certain things. So even though I hate it, I think it's been a huge part of me growing as like a person. So I would say that's the part of the job that I dislike the most, but it's also one of the parts that has changed me for the better.
This question comes from our beloved janitor Joe.
Jesus Christ.
Who wins the award for the most retarded employee?
Oh my God. That's a horrible word, but I would say the employee that has the most potential but acts like he doesn't have the most potential. Out of everybody?
Sure.
Oh man, he's not here anymore.
For good reasons, I guess. What's the most fulfilling thing you've ever accomplished thus far?
Retiring my mom, for sure.
What reason being?
It's just something I've always wanted to do. So like when I grew up, my mom traveled every day. Every day of the week. She was only home on the weekends. So for me, it was one of those things that I always saw, like, I wanted to spend more time with my mom when I was younger, and I wasn't able to because she just wasn't there. She had to kind of like support the family. So my whole life's like goal was to make sure that I could retire her, and doing that has hands down been the most fulfilling, and it will be the most fulfilling thing I ever do, to be honest with you. But that definitely, there's nothing that even comes close to that.
When will the next Raw event be in Florida again?
I would assume probably.
Let me expand on that. What's your goal with like our own personal Raw events, with like our own brands and stuff?
That's a great question. So last year, the beginning of last year, we decided to take a lot of the marketing money that we were spending on online marketing and kind of shift it towards giving back to the people who support us. And I thought that the best way to do that, and this was really a big part of Chris's idea, but what we decided to do is create these events for the people who follow the brand, who love the brand, and just kind of give back with like Q&As, meet and greets, and all those types of things. So that's what we did, and it was super special. And I think what happened by doing that was it ended up being probably the best marketing we ever could have done, and we didn't anticipate that to happen at all. Our goal with those events was just to kind of break even, like not lose money but not make any money. And that's how they've been going. So I think what we're going to do is just continuously make them bigger, eventually hopefully host guests, artists, have concerts, and kind of like go the first form route of Summer Splash, but put our own twist on it.
What factors help determine the friends to keep and the people you need to outgrow?
That's a really good question. I think you learn a lot as you get older. I think when you become, responsible and you have a career, your good friends are going to be the ones who understand that you don't have time. They're going to be the ones who are always going to be there to support you, cheer you on, root for you when you're not there. Unfortunately, I've lost a lot of people in my life because of the opposite, right? You become successful and, people they hate it. They hate seeing someone doing better than them. And I think the true testament of a friend is when your friend is doing more or doing better, and you're there to support them and you're still happy for them and you don't get the envy that a lot of people get. And I think my way of rewarding like true friendship is I try to bring my friends with me along. Like whatever I do, I want them to be successful. I want to put them on in a position where they can become successful, and I think I've done a great job of that. But I will say that if you do have people in your life that are that negative type of a person, the best thing that I could ever tell anyone is to get rid of them as fast as possible, because you can't change people like that.
What stresses you out? What stresses you the most when dealing with supplements? I guess as far as like, I'm guessing he's talking about like creating the actual product itself. I mean, I don't think there's much stress involved in supplements. I think really that's not a stressful part of the job. When it comes to creating a new product or a new supplement, I think one of the most difficult parts is really nailing the flavor and having the dosing, like the right amount of product in the formula, but also making it taste good. So that's stressful. It takes a long time to nail flavors. But as far as like stress, that's not real stress. It's more fun. It just takes a long fucking time sometimes. What the hell is that? What?
Is it good? Yeah. What is it, a Bum Energy lollipop or? Really? Fire.
I'll do two more.
What are some goals you'd like to achieve more towards pushing raw?
Can you repeat that?
Let's split this up into two questions so it's easier. From a business standpoint and from a I guess you could say community standpoint.
So from
like
a business
branding standpoint.
Yeah, I got you. So from a business standpoint, I think we would want to become more of like a household name in health and wellness versus just like a bodybuilding supplement brand. And I think we're doing that. So I think we're definitely on the right path, but I would like to see it become more mainstream and be like the like the brand that everyone thinks about when they think about fitness, health, run, whatever, exercise, anything to do with fitness. So that's definitely my main goal with Raw. On the branding side of it, and then on the culture side of it, you're asking what I want to see, how I want to see that go. Again, same thing, keep doing these events, grow the events, create a bigger athlete profile as well as an ambassador profile, and just let it, more organic growth, right? Like not as much paid, but more just like showing up, building the community, being more involved in local communities, I think would be really cool. Like if we could pick like hubs throughout the country or the world that, need stuff or need help or education or whatever, like donations for sneakers for kids who need them, whatever we could do in that realm, I think would be really cool.
The last one I was going to ask, what are your true thoughts about Raw? But
That's stupid. I fucking love it, obviously. Thank you guys for tuning into this episode of The Raw Truth. If you like what we're doing here, please like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube page, and we hope to see you on the next one. Yeah, perfect.